Two big news updates for you. India is becoming a leading manufacturing hub. Asia is reporting a downtrend thanks to China. Now let me explain. India is on way to becoming a manufacturing hub for electronic production. The target of sector's output is $300 billion by the end of 2030. Electronics is seen as the biggest contributor in reaching economic goals. Apple, Samsung Electronics, Micron Technologies' $825 million investment are big milestones and have shown by elaborate investments that India is gaining pace as a much sought after destination. Gopal Nadadur and Malvika Mysore have written in Nikkei Asia about how incentivizing investment and reforms have resulted in victories. I quote it here. Ambitious commitments by Apple contract manufacturers Foxconn Technology Group, Pegatron and Wistron mean 25% of iPhones could be made in India by 2025. This will be up from current 5 to 7%. Apple suppliers are gradually also building a component manufacturing ecosystem in India. Now, India's manufacturing success is underscored by a rapid uptick in electronic exports, which reached $7 billion during the first quarter, 56% more than last year. However, let me tell you about economy alarm in Asia these days, of which India is also a part, and it is concerning. World Bank has said that East Asia's developing economies are expected to expand at one of the lowest rates in 5 decades, blaming the gloomy outlook to slow down in China. The Financial Times have said in a report that the World Bank cut forecast for China's growth next year to 4.4% from the 4.8% it had expected in April. Not just that, a string of weak indicators have cited. The bank also downgraded 2024 forecast for gross domestic product growth for developing economies in East Asia and the Pacific to 4.5% in the first quarter of the current financial year. For China, recent reports have shown that there is crisis in real estate, banks and credit loans too. China's $1 trillion Belt and Road Initiative infrastructure finance program has been hit by spiraling bad loans. About $78.5 billion of loans from Chinese institutions to roads, railways, ports, airports and other infrastructure projects around the world were renegotiated or written off in some cases between 2020 and the end of March this year in 2023. These are figures from the New York-based research organization, the Rhodium Group. China refuses to further expand cooperation with Pakistan in energy, water, climate under the CPEC. Pakistan also gave up its opposition to setting up a new imported coal-fired power plant in Gwadar and has agreed to a number of Chinese demands to address Beijing's concerns. This ambitious project is clearly facing a problem. Meanwhile, India is ensuring a manufacturing boom that also becomes a strategy to reduce over-reliance on Chinese imports. There is a Make in India, and then there is also a Manufacture in India. Remember that China's aggression at the border against India, unnecessary provocations over Arunachal Pradesh and Ladakh, bizarre objections throughout G20 summit. All of this has also generated a sentiment against China-made products and has now made a push for vocal for local among Indians. With India manufacturing, Apple has become the first to export $1 billion of smartphones from India in a single month last December. Is there India's economic expansion? S&P Global India Services have stated, after rapid economic growth of 7.2% in 22-23 fiscal year, economic momentum has remained strong in the first half of 2023. Foreign direct investment inflows of FDI having reached a new record high of $85 billion in 21-22 fiscal year. FDI investment inflows into the manufacturing sector rose by 76% year-on-year, reaching a level of over $21 billion. By source of origin of FDI inflows, Singapore, Mauritius and United Arab Emirates have been the top sources of the FDI inflows, highlighting growing importance of India's economic and investment bilateral relationship with global financial hubs in emerging and developing markets have shown the kind of impact that India is beginning to have, and we hope that India will successfully retain the rise and demolish the doomsday. Thank you for watching. So while Asia's economy could be facing a downturn, India for now is still stable with its economy, and we hope that stays. But that's also a cautionary tale to ensure that we don't get swept away in that. Coming up next with Jessica Goyal, what's happening in India today?
Since we are talking of economies, let me take you back to the time when you won't believe this given the current rates, but then $1 was equal to 3 rupees. Well, this was back in 1947, and since then the rates have only gone up. Today, it's around 80 rupees for $1. the US dollar is officially the world's reserve currency. There are multiple arguments about why $1 to rupees in 1947 had a better value. The most common one is, however, that there was no metric system, so all currencies had the same value. Another argument is that before 1947, India was a British ruled state, so the value of the rupee was higher because the value of pound was higher. Here it is believed that 1 pound was equal to 13 rupees during 1947, and that's why the value of USD or dollars was somewhere around rupees 4 in 1947. When India gained independence, it had to accept the international metric system, and the value of rupee changed at the same moment. Trade balances, inflation, interest rates, geopolitical events, foreign direct investment have influenced the ups and downs of the Indian rupee. From the pre-independence era marked by British colonial rule to post-independence challenges, economic reforms, many domestic and international factors have influenced the rupee's value. In fact, after COVID in 2021, rupee became Asia's top performing currency. The history of dollar to rupee exchange rate is undoubtedly a fascinating journey through India's economic evolution.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today Newsmo.